Next so if you can do that, if you can be on a back outside edge and get into your position and sustain that glide and that curve and that balance, that's going to help your Lutz, right? So this would be a skill that I would make as a prerequisite to learning your Lutz, is that you can glide in that position balance with good athletic bend into the right leg. Left leg is quite straight with toe pointed, and the spine is twisted. So I would say that on a Lutz, like you don't need to use any upper body torquing for your jumps except for the Lutz, in my opinion. So we are going to use that method for the Lutz. And the other thing that's going to help you get rotation on a Lutz, so this turn like this is going to help give us rotation. I'm going to start with maximum twist in my spine, one arm in front, one arm behind. I'm going to twist and rotate like that. Technique that many of you are familiar with, the technique that you use on a lot of your jumps nowadays, which is not figure skating technique, it's off-ice technique, except on the Lutz. So that's not going to work unless you're on 2 feet, because if I turn something this way, something else is going to turn the other way. Newton's third law of motion. So but on the Lutz, I am on 2 feet, right? Very briefly. 2 feet, briefly. And during that brief period while you're on 2 feet, you can use the that shoulder twisting method. The other thing that helps give you rotation on your Lutz is the same thing that helps give you rotation on your loop jump. On your loop jump, you can get easy rotation by being on a nice deep back inside edge. See the nice deep back inside edge? If I jump off that edge, I'm going to get easy rotation, and I'm going to be able to do a triple or quad loop from a deep edge. Notice anybody that does a quadruple loop takes off a deep edge. And so on a Lutz, it's not a deep edge, but it's a deep toe pick. So here, the edge is going to be over there, but the toe pick is going to be on a Lutz over there. See? There. So if I get that toe pick on a deep toe pick, not a deep edge, a deep toe pick, that can help me with the rotation. So these 2 things are going to help with the rotation on the Lutz. One is using your spinal torque, starting with this here. One is the deep curve, the deep edge position, and you can practice this exercise. It's really going to help you with your Lutz. Before you go out and try your Lutz and get into bad habits and start doing flutzes and getting into habits that are going to be impossible or very, very difficult to fix, learn this skill. I'm going with very little speed because I want to balance on my toe pick. So hardly any speed at all, right? Just going to get into this takeoff position, and I'm going to balance on my toe pick and try to turn on the toe pick like that. Yeah, not so easy to do, but if you learn how to do this, you're setting yourself up for a very, very nice Lutz jump. Notice how this right leg, I jump the other way than most people, almost all people here in Japan. This right leg is quite rigid. Yeah, when you put it in, it will maybe bend a little bit. We don't want it to be weak and bend a lot. We want it to stay quite rigid, this right leg, when we're doing our Lutz. So this one's gonna bend, 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 knee, ankle, hip, bend. This one's gonna be straight. And I'm gonna turn like that. Of course, you go airborne. You don't wanna do too much turn on the ice. This is just an exercise, right? You're gonna have lots of speed and you're gonna jump, you know, and the toe pick is gonna be on the ice for a very short period of time in the actual Lutz, right? Because we don't wanna turn on our toe pick. That's cheating. That's over rotating the takeoff. We don't wanna do that on our takeoff. We want to think more about jump than about turn on the takeoff of our jumps if we really want them to go up. And if we think more about jump than about turn on the takeoff of our jumps, we're going to get plenty of height and have lots of time for rotation. And yeah, ultimately you really want to think about both jump and turn as you take off on a jump, but don't think too much about turn and not enough about jump. Many skaters are trying to turn, are too turn obsessed on the takeoff of their jumps and not getting enough height. Now, what else can I say about the Lutz jump here? That's mainly what I have to say about the Lutz jump, but we're learning in steps out here. It's good to learn things in steps. And so the next step might be to take off from that nice outside edge. Now we're gonna add a little bit of speed, right? And so I'm gonna go on my outside edge, get into my position and jump. And just do a half a rotation. I definitely took off an outside edge there, right? So this is the next step for you in learning your Lutz jump. You're gonna go onto your back outside edge, get into position, and then just do a half a rotation.